Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So for today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the circus and the carnivals and just clowns. Well, I personally have never been a big fan of the actual circus. I don't think I've ever been to a real circus. I mean, the whole thing of clowns doesn't really amuse me. Never really cared for them. And, you know, circus, it's the same idea. I'm not too into it. I've been to a lot of carnivals. Carnivals are fun because you play games, you go on rides. I mean, we have a national exhibition that happens every year. I like to go into the midway there. Even when I was a kid, whenever they would set up the carnival at the local grocery store or whatever parking lot, I'd always go there with my friends. So I've always liked these kinds of things, but the circus thing, I just never got into it. I don't know why. It just never appealed to me. But it didn't stop me from playing the video games. I like playing certain video games that had them, and I played them more when I was a kid, so I'm going to pull some of these out and actually try them again. Now, so the one I'm going to be doing first is going to be Circus for the Atari. I have shown off a little bit of this video before, and I did it on my, my paddle controller games for the Atari. But that was quite a while ago. I mean, that was one of the first few videos I did, and so I thought I'd revisit this one again. And give it a better try. I didn't do too well when I played it, and you know, I've been trying to play it on the Atari Flashback, but the problem is it really needs the paddle controllers, and the Atari Flashback does not have that. It's got a gamepad, and if you've ever tried to play a paddle controller game on anything other than the paddle controller, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to give that a go. The other one I'm going to try is Carnival for the Intellivision, and there's the box. I've talked about this one on one of my videos. I think it was the A to Z videos where I talked about games with the letter C, and I brought up Carnival for the Intellivision. And a few people thought, well, why would you use the Intellivision version, not the Atari version or any of the other ones? Well, this was the one I played when I was a kid. This is the one I had when I was a kid. I didn't have an Atari, so I just kind of got used to playing this one. I mean, it's an okay game. I mean, it's a typical shoot-'em-up game. It's a shooting game. So we're going to play some Carnival. And the third one is, it's one that I had on the Commodore 64 for a long time, and I played it when I was a kid. It's called Kickman. And it's it's got that busker theme to it. It's definitely got like a clown and balloons. So we're going to play that one too. So we're just going to have some circus, carnival, clown fun today. Alright, let's start off with Circus for the Atari 2600. I did a video, well, I did a little bit of this game in another video when I talked about paddle controllers. Because to play this game you need the paddle controller. And it actually works quite well. I mean, you see this guy down here, he's on a springboard thing, like a, what do you call those things? Teeter-tottery type of things? Anyways. So yeah, I mean, the object is, you're going to have this other guy, I think they're clowns, he'll jump up on the, and you have to catch him on the springboard and bounce him up there and get the prizes. So let's start off on the first easiest settings, because I'm not too good at this game. As you can see, I just let that guy, clown, whatever he is, fall to his death. There. Oh. You have to be, you know, in the right position. Oh, looked like you just went through it. I'd say this is one of these games where you just kind of got to get into the rhythm of it. Once you do that, you kind of just keep going. Well, that wasn't too good. Let's try that again. Whoa. Hey, you look like you went through it. Okay. Wow. Thought I had him there. Oh. There's also some settings, so we can try, let's try this one. 2-1. Got some extra stuff floating around up there. Oh. Those are like barriers, I guess. They block them from getting to the prizes. You know, it's kind of like Arkanoid and those other kind of paddle and ball type games. Whoa. It's just, you really have to be, like, in the right position to catch the guy. You gotta be quick. Kind of a neat setting. Try that again. Let's try 3. Okay. I think this is just another one of those games where you just kind of got to get used to it. Whoa. Hey. Okay, I don't know why they seem to be falling through the springboard thing. But yeah, I'm not doing too well here. Let's try another one. 1, 5, 3, 4, 1. Let's try 4. I think I'm on 4. Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. Well, that was cool. He was up there for a while. Again, kind of like with Arkanoid, where you can get the ball up there and it kind of hits all the squares. Jeez. I don't think I've ever gotten enough to... Okay, let's try again. Whoa. Okay, let's move on to Carnival now. This is for the Intellivision. This is the 1982. I brought this game up in my A to Z's under C for Carnival, and some people said that this is actually one of the worst versions of it. I don't know. I remember playing it, so let's just okay, 1 or 2 players. Obviously, I have 1 player here, and I can increase my level of difficulty. Let's start off with 1 because I like to. So as you can see, it's got that Carnival sound to it. I think that's supposed to be a Ferris wheel in the background, spinning around. And the object of this, that's like a gun. And you're just trying to get all of the toys, or I guess that's what they are. They're supposed to be toys. But then there's a bonus that goes by. So because I'm using the Intellivision, I'm using the disc controller, which is not bad for this type of game, actually. Let's see if I can get that 10. It's kind of like a Space Invaders, but instead of them coming down, they're going sideways. I mean, very similar. And obviously they're not shooting at you. See if we can get that bunny. Come on, bunny. I think that's a bunny. I mean, the music really gives you that circus feel to it, that carnival feel. I mean, it's very colorful and very, a lot going on. The shooting is a little bit slow. That's all I can say about it. It's, you can't shoot more than once. So, you have to wait for your bullet to literally leave the screen before you can shoot again. Definitely has a Space Invaders feel to it, though. Ooh. Here comes some more. So let's try and go to the highest setting, 4. Let's see what the difference is. So these things fly away faster. I don't know what happens if they hit the ground. Oh, he's eating my bullets. It's not a good thing. So I guess the trick is, if they start to fly down, you gotta get them fast. So, trying to get the bonuses. Yeah, I thought maybe the shooting speed would pick up, but apparently it didn't. I don't normally play on the higher settings, so... Uh-oh, birds. Obviously not as difficult a game as Space Invaders, that's for sure. I'm running out of bullets. I get these things before they eat the other... Ah, come here. Oh, game over. Okay, so this one's called Kickman. Kind of more of a busker type of idea. But I mean, kind of falls in the same idea of being in a circus or being in a carnival of some sort. And so you got this guy on this unicycle moving back or forth. And he has this pointy hat for some reason that can pop balloons. And these are your balloons. So the object is... Well, I'm just going to go back and forth here. A lot of these have these same thing in common. Oops. Where you can... you're kind of going back and forth and you're either shooting something up or catching something that's falling. So the object is to catch the balloons with your head. Sort of also like Kaboom. If you've ever played Kaboom on the Atari, this is kind of the same idea. Things are falling from the sky, you gotta catch it. Now the interesting thing about this is you can actually kick them too. If you miss it with your head, and then they start to fly around like that. And of course, if you miss one, you fall off your unicycle. Back here, that tells you how many unicycles you have left. So I have one there. Whoa. The thing is, I tried to see if the paddle controllers would work with this, but apparently it didn't. So I'm using just a regular Atari joystick. Not too bad in the beginning, I guess, when it's early on and they're at they're following at a slower pace. Every once in a while, one will fall. This is only the first level. I think it gets harder. They start to fall faster, and I think maybe even twice at a time. I can't remember. I mean, fairly simple game. Oh, look. Pac-Man! Oh, yes. Now they're actually landing on your head. Maybe there was something different going to happen. I couldn't remember what it was. Oh yeah, Pac-Man. He eats them. And then you got Pac-Man on your head. Kind of a surprise to see him in this game. And then he eats the balloons. Kind of funny looking. Now I'm going to have two Pac-Mans. Alright, level 3. Now we got the Pac-Man ghosts. So it looks like you can only hold a maximum of 4 balloons on your head. And eventually the Pac-Man will come down and eat them. So from what I understand about this game is it was a cartridge game on the Commodore 64. But I have a whole bunch of these that was just kind of loaded onto a disc for me. So I'm actually using a disc, not a cartridge. Kind of a neat game. It just gets harder from here on in. Whoa. Probably the kicking will come in handy like that. When it goes really fast. All these different color Pac-Mans are all... Some are faster than the others. Oh, ghost. Different way to Pac-Man. Yeah, like most of these games too, the music is just repetitive. It's that Carnival, circusy music. Could start to drive you nuts after a while. Like all the games I'm playing on right now are kind of in that same category of can drive one nuts. Looks like we just back to balloons. It's the speed that changes. And once they all start flying around, you can go a little crazy trying to catch them all. Whoa. Here's where it becomes a real balancing act. Oh no! Ah. All my balloons. So as you can see, I'm still terrible at Circus Atari. I just can't get it. I mean, I think I'm going to catch the guy with that little teeter-totter thing, and he just falls right through and splats to his death. I do have to say it's quite a violent game for what it is. I mean, these guys are just falling and they're splatting on the ground. Kind of funny. But I just can't get a grasp on controlling that thing. I don't know if it's because I'm just bad with the paddle controller, or it's just the way you have to think, where he's going to be landing, you have to get your paddle over there, and you almost have to think 2 moves ahead. That's probably where my issue is. Carnival. Interesting game. A little slow at times. And I do understand that some people are saying that this game isn't the greatest, especially on the Intellivision, because it is kind of slow. It's probably, you know, one of the worst versions of it. I probably should have compared it to the Atari version. I do have it. But I just decided to do Intellivision because why not? I'm doing Atari, might as well do Intellivision. Not a bad game. I probably wouldn't play it for very long. It does kind of get tedious. That's what I have to say. It's not like Space Invaders where you know, with Space Invaders, I think because of the way they're coming at you, there's a little bit more action going on. I felt with this, it's just literally you're just shooting at things and that's it. But, you know, it's a colorful game, nice sound effects, nice graphics. Not bad to throw in every once in a while and just give it a go. Now the third one, Kickman, I like that game. I still like it. It's fun. You know, obviously it starts off very easy with just the balloons falling, but then it starts to get intense. And I love the Pac-Man. I love that they put Pac-Man in there. Pac-Man and the Ghosts. It really changed the dynamic of the game, especially when those balloons started to land on your head and didn't pop, and then the Pac-Man would come down and eat them. I mean, that's a great touch. I really liked it. And that was part of, I remember, why I liked playing the game. It just had that little element of surprise in there. But anyways, yeah, I mean, that's just me playing some Circus, Carnival, clowny type games. I found another one on the Commodore 64, and it was, what was it? It was basically Circus. They called it Clowns. But I couldn't get it to work. So I tried my joystick, I tried my paddle controllers, and the thing wouldn't work. But it was basically the same thing as Circus on the Atari. It just had more amped up graphics, had an extra elevated level, you know. So I just decided not to show it because I couldn't get it to work. Anyways, let me know what you think of the 3 games I played, if you've ever played them, what your thoughts on. And hope you liked the video. Hope you subscribe to my channel. Talk to you later.